The Music Circle helps you understand music theory, not just memorize it. The Music Circle is built on the circle of fifths, a circular arrangement of the 12 notes, 7 white and 5 black, that make up an octave. If you want to learn more about the circle of fifths, watch the video The Origin of the Circle of Fifths, available at musicircle.net in the video drop-down menu. Let's begin by looking at how the major scale relates to the circle of fifths. Here, for example, is the scale of C major. The first note of the scale is C, the second D, the third E, the fourth F, the fifth G, the sixth A, and the seventh B. The octave of C then completes the scale. Notice the sequence of numbers generated: 4, 1, 5, 2, 6, 3, 7. This sequence originates in the mathematics of music. If you want to learn more, watch the video The Origin of the Sequence 4152637. If we write this sequence on a separate overlay and rotate it on the circle, we can find the notes in any major scale, or key, because a key is simply the group of notes that make up a scale. So we'll call this yellow shape the key finder. Notice that some holes of the key finder show 2 different note names. This is because these notes can be referred to in 2 different ways. But how do we know which name to use when? This outer rim lets us name the notes correctly by telling us when to use natural names, which are simply the 7 letters A, B, C, D, E, F, and G by themselves, when to use sharp names, which are these 7 letters accompanied by a sharp symbol, and when to use flat names, which are these 7 letters accompanied by a flat symbol. This yellow pointer is attached to the key finder and rotates on the rim as we turn the key finder, indicating how to name the notes in a particular scale or key. Either using natural names, or using natural names and if there are no natural names to choose from, using sharp names, or using natural names and if there are no natural names to choose from, using flat names. When the pointer lands on the white section of the rim, it indicates that these 3 keys can be named in 2 different ways. Let's look, for example, at the key of C major. The pointer tells us to name the notes in this key or scale using natural names, never sharp names or flat names. So we know to name the notes in the scale of C major using just letters: C, D, E, F, G, A, and B. Now, let's turn the key finder so that the note in hole 1 is G. Now the key finder gives the notes in the key of G major. The pointer on the rim tells us that the notes in this key or scale are named using natural names whenever possible, but that when there is no natural name to choose from, which is the case in hole 7, we use sharp names. In other words, naturals, then sharps. So we call the notes in the scale of G major G, A, B, C, D, E, and F sharp. If you want to learn more about the sharp flat naming system, watch the video Why Some Notes Are Named Using Sharps or Flats. Over 4,000 years ago, the ancient Mesopotamians invented the musical system we use today, and the sequence 4152637 formed the basis of their system. For example, on this 3,000-year-old clay tablet, the sequence 4152637 and its inversions are written in table form. Above the table is drawn a 7-pointed star, with points labeled 1 to 7 in a clockwise direction. Starting at point 4 and following the diagonals of the star, generates the sequence 4152637. Starting at the other points and following the diagonals generates inversions of this sequence. For example, 7415263. Written at each point of the star is the name of one of the strings of the Mesopotamian harp or lyre. If you want to learn more about the Mesopotamian musical system and its influence on both the West and China, read the paper A Mesopotamian Origin for the Ancient Musical and Musico-Cosmological Systems of the West and China, written by myself, Sarah DeRose, and published by Penn University. This paper is available on the Mesopotamian Musical System page found in the Music Archaeology drop-down menu. Now let's look at how we can use the music circle to understand chords. The center shape is made from a triangle and a square, fused together. The points of this shape give the notes in all types of chords, so we'll call it the chord finder. For example, yellow point M gives the first note in a major triad. So, to construct the triad of C major, we turn yellow point M to indicate C. The first note of the triad is C, the second note, shown by yellow point 2, is E, and the third note, shown by yellow point 3, is G. To construct other major triads, we simply rotate the chord finder on the circle. Now let's look at minor triads. Blue point M gives the first note in a minor triad. So, to construct the triad of A minor, for example, we turn blue point M to indicate A. The first note of the triad is A. The second note, shown by blue point 2, is C, and the third note, shown by blue point 3, is E. To construct other minor triads, we rotate the chord finder on the circle. The music circle can help you construct other types of chords. To learn more, watch the video The Dominant Seventh Chord. You can also watch the tutorials that discuss complex chords, available in the tutorial drop-down menu. But how do we know which note names to use when naming the notes in a chord? Here's the rule. Chords are named relative to the keys they are found in. To understand this, we use the chord finder and the key finder together. Here, the note C is in hole 1, so the key finder shows the key of C major. Now here's the chord finder with yellow point M pointing to the note F, so the chord finder is showing the triad of F major. Notice that all three yellow points of the chord finder lie on top of the key finder. This illustrates that the triad of F major is in the key of C. Because the triad of F major is in the key of C, we name it using natural names as indicated by the pointer on the rim. So the notes in the triad of F major are called F, A, and C. Now let's see if there are other major triads that fit into the key of C. We turn the chord finder one position clockwise so that yellow point M indicates the note C. Notice that all three yellow points of the chord finder still lie on top of the key finder. So the triad of C major is also in the key of C, and we name its notes using natural names, C, E, and G. The triad of G major is also in the key of C, and its notes are named G, B, and D. Now here's the triad of D major. Notice that yellow point 2 is no longer on top of the key finder. This shows that the triad of D major is not in the key of C. Rotating the chord finder to all other possible positions, we see that no other major triads fit on top of the key finder. Therefore, there are only three major triads in the key of C, those built on the 4th, 1st, and 5th notes of the scale. Now let's look at which minor chords fit into the key of C. The triad of D minor fits into the key of C because all three blue points of the chord finder lie on top of the key finder. So we name the notes in this triad using naturals, D, F, and A. The triad of A minor is also in the key of C and named using naturals, A, C, and E. and so is the triad of E minor, E, G, and B. But the triad of B minor is not in the key of C, because blue point 3 is off the key finder. Rotating the chord finder to all other possible positions, we see that no other minor triads fit into the key of C. To summarize, the key of C contains 3 major triads built on the 4th, 1st, and 5th notes of the scale, and 3 minor triads built on the 2nd, 6th, and 3rd notes of the scale. If we want to find the chords in other keys, we simply turn the pattern around the circle. To learn how to use the music circle to play in minor keys and modes, watch the tutorials Diatonic Composition and Chromatic Composition, available in the tutorial drop-down menu. We looked earlier at this 3,000-year-old clay tablet from Mesopotamia. This tablet was acquired by Penn Museum in the 1890s, but was not understood to relate to music until 2007, when 2 scholars recognized the writing on the 7-pointed star to be the names given by the Mesopotamians to the strings of the harp or lyre. But before 2007, the tablet was thought by archaeologists to be an astrological scheme to relate the 7 ancient planets to the 7 days of the week. And in fact, the musical sequence 4152637 does order the days of the week. To learn more, watch the video The Musical Origin of the 7-Day Week. Then, if you want to know more about the use of the sequence 4152637 in ancient mystery traditions, watch the video The Role of the Sequence in Ancient Traditions. On the home page, you can purchase the Music Circle individually. It comes with complete instructions formatted to fit in a 3-ring binder. On the store page, bulk orders for teachers are available, and so is an accompanying 90-minute curriculum unit for secondary school or university, music, or history of mathematics classes. This interactive presentation explores recent discoveries in the field of music archaeology, focusing on the relationship between music, mathematics, and cosmology in the ancient world. More information is available in the Workshops drop-down menu. The Music Circle is a lifelong companion, showing a child their first scale and, years later, illustrating the rules of composition. The Music Circle is drawn from the deep history of music, yet plays an important role in the future of music education, revealing the patterns that underlie all music theory. It is the key to understanding music.